Hello everybody, it's Austin from Artech here with another Game Maker tutorial, and in this video I'm going to be covering the Room Editor. The Room Editor is where developers can create the scenes that will exist within their game. This includes, but isn't limited to, the playable levels, menus, cutscenes, credit scenes, and so much more. Game Maker's Room Editor has a lot to offer, so let's do some quick exploration. So in order to create a room, all we need to do is come over to the right-hand side in our asset browser. We can open our Rooms drop-down menu. As you can see, I have a couple of rooms here already. But we're going to right-click on the Rooms option, go to Create, and we're going to select Room. And we're going to be brought to Room 4, which is just an empty black screen. So let's take a look at some of the things that the Room Editor has to offer. Over here on the left-hand side, we have our room layers, and we have a couple of different layers by default. We have our background layer and our instances layer. The instances layer is where we're going to place any game objects that are actually going to interact with some sort of system in our game. This could be the player, projectiles, coins, enemies, platforms, anything like this. The background is where we're going to be placing, well, the background. We can change it to a particular sprite, or by selecting the color option, we can just change the background to any color we want. So let's go with a gray for now. Underneath the room layers, we have the room properties. In here, we can change the size of the room. So we can see that we have the width and the height of the room. So if we zoom out, by holding Control and using the scroll wheel to zoom out. If we change the width of our room to say 2000 and hit Enter, you can see that our room has just grown in size. Same goes for the height. If let's make it 1000, hit Enter, and now our room is taller. Underneath here, we can access the viewports and cameras and the room physics. We won't worry too much about room physics right now. As for viewports and cameras, I'll have another video explaining how that stuff all works. Now, we can start by actually placing things in our room. In order to do that, we can head over to our asset browser, go to our objects folder, and assuming that you have some objects created, you can just left-click them and drag them over into our game room. So I could put my player here. Maybe I could add a couple of coins to my room. Like so. One other thing that you can do is if you hold the Alt key on your keyboard, the last selected object will appear by your cursor, and you can hold left click and drag to add a bunch of them to your level at once. This can be very useful if you're making like platforms for your level, instead of dragging each platform in individually. Lastly, with the room editor, is you can see over back in my asset browser, that room number 1 has a little house icon beside it. And this means that it is the home room, meaning when the game starts, that is where the player will be taken initially. We can change that by clicking on the house icon and opening the room manager, and we can drag our rooms and rearrange the order that they're in. We can drag room 4 to the top, and now it has the home icon. This means that if we close this, and click play to test our game, we are automatically brought to the room that we just created. So hopefully now you feel a little more familiar with the room editor. As with everything in Game Maker, the best way to improve is to practice and get even more familiar with the room editor and everything that it has to offer. I hope that you found this video helpful, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video.